Dying of a broken heart. It used to be a figure of speech, but now it's a real thing as more and more nursing homes are tightening their visitor restrictions.
Very frustrating. I cry just about every night because of it. Because I worry about her care and I worry about her because she needs us. She needs her family.
Sharon Moffat's mother, Suzanne, is at Autumn Lake Healthcare in Waterbury. Initially approved for compassionate care visits, those visits have been abruptly stopped.
She does not understand. She cries at the window telling me to come in there. And I cry all the way home saying, I can't come in, Mom. They won't let me in.
With Thanksgiving less than a week away, the State Department of Health and Long-Term Care Ombudsman have issued this joint guidance about the risk level for holiday celebration activities with your elderly loved one, with celebrating virtually obviously having the lowest risk, while bringing your elderly loved one to your home to celebrate with families from other households is the most risky.
Now, upon return, they most likely would have to go into an observation unit, which is further isolating for a period of up to 14 days.
Nursing homes free of COVID for the last 14 days are open for visitation.
Loaded them up with a ton of testing. As you know, we have, I think, the most aggressive testing program for nursing homes in the nation. We're now also giving them a lot of rapid point of care tests so that they can test guests and visitors.
But the number of nursing homes that meet that 14-day criteria is getting smaller. Well over 50% dealing with active outbreaks over just the last week. 306 nursing home residents and 262 staff members have gotten COVID. 39 more residents have died. It's a similar picture at the state's assisted living facilities.
The measures that you want to take to protect someone from the spread of a highly infectious disease are the same measures that, make it so hard for their family and their loved ones to see them and physically be with them.
Some nursing homes are purchasing tents to try and do everything they can to keep outdoor visitation viable as long as possible. Others are exploring the idea of getting Alexa devices into residents' rooms to try and give them something to talk to ease the loneliness. Reporting in East Hartford, Matt Caron, Fox 61 News.
All right, Matt, thank you. We understand the governor's briefing is